Welcome to HP Agents Wholesaling Real Estate course. In this course, you're going to earn financial freedom, a six-figure income. We guarantee success if you follow the strategy and techniques that I, as a real estate broker for the last 15 years, have learned and trained other agents. So by all means, let's get started. I'm fired up.
Hey guys, this is Alan Jimenez here with HPAgents.com. I'm a real estate broker with over 15 years experience in real estate. And yes, I train high-powered agents. That's what we do here at HPAgents.com. But we've been having such a high demand for wholesaling real estate course. I'm actually allowing people who don't have a real estate license, because you don't need one, to learn about wholesaling real estate. Now, I'm glad that you tuned in because we're going to be covering a lot. So I hope you have a cup of coffee handy. You're very comfortable in your chair because you're going to learn a lot in this course, the beginning course for wholesale real estate. Okay, by all means, let's get started. What is wholesale real estate? Let's move on to the next slide. Our big idea is, our goal is to train our students to learn the art of wholesaling properties using strategy and technique, not just second guessing or going out on a whim and knocking on some doors and just seeing if this happens. No, but we want to have a steady stream of leads coming in and closing these wholesale deals. And we're also going to be tying them under contract using strategy, using technique, in order that we get the lowest price, because we make our money when we buy the property, not actually when we sell. You will learn a little bit more about that during the course. We make money during the buy. We'll talk about it a little. A lot of people are confused about that, but that's when we make our money, is during the buy and negotiations. We have a couple of negotiation tactics, or a few of them, that are going to save you lots of money, headache, and heartache. So let's move on to the next slide so we can get on through here. What is wholesaling properties? Okay, what is it? I mean, you've heard about it, people doing it, making a lot of money, but what actually is it? Wholesaling properties, in a nutshell, is just basically, we're going to be locking down a piece of property. That means we're going to be putting a property down. We're going to be putting a property under contract. We're going to put as you're going to buy the property, a regular contract to buy a property, a legal document that the seller signs off and the buyer, you sign off. Okay? And then we're going to take that contract and we're going to wholesale it to an investor. An investor is going to be that person who puts it on that gets the floors done, the carpet, the wood, the granite counters, the pretty cabinets, the pretty kitchen. He does all this stuff. He does all that, and then he makes that big chunk of money. And I know you're probably thinking, well, why don't I do that? Why don't I just take this, I can take this deal and just fix it and sell it. And we're going to get into that. If you want to go that avenue, we certainly can do it. I've done it many times before, where it's just too good of a deal to pass up. And I'm just like, I'll just make that money, But you have to, we're going to talk about the pros and the cons of doing that. Because when you're in the wholesale business, you can just make as much money with that time. Because in real estate, I guess in every business, time is money. Time is definitely money. So yes, you're working on that deal. There's only so many hours in the day. So as you're flipping that property, you're not going to be able to do your wholesale business. So wholesale business goes down and you're going to do the flip. So you can do more hours in the wholesale, you're flipping properties. Then, you're flipping contracts, wholesaling properties, you'll be making money. So you have to say, okay, I got 3 or 6 months in that flip. And let's see, I make about $10 or $15,000 a month wholesaling. That's 10 times minimum times 3 months, 30,000. Am I going to make that same amount of money? So it depends, And now when you get to 70 or 100 or 150,000, in profit when you're flipping, that's when it becomes advantageous to stop what you're doing. Let's wholesale this. Let's flip this property, and that's what we talk about in the next course. Okay, and when you want to jump on that, you will learn how to buy homes super duper cheap. I don't know if that's a correct term. Super duper cheap. I'm gonna show you how to put properties under contract that are 50 to 70% of the value. So like let's say for instance, the house is worth 100. Just for easy, the house is worth 100. We want to try to get that house from 50,000 to up to $70,000. You're like, how? It can be hard to do. Well, it's not going to be that hard if we use a little bit of strategy and technique. And that's where the training comes in of bidding properties, finding them, analyzing them. And remember this, is that sometimes if a property is being sold or it's on the market for 100,000, doesn't mean it's worth 100. It could be worth more, it could be worth less. And that's when it comes down to mastering a few neighborhoods. We call them farm areas, but they're being the master of these areas. You can't master all of them. You can master a few of them, and I'm going to show you how to use technology in order to benefit you. So I'll give you an example. Number one is I like to set searches up for different neighborhoods that fit a certain criteria. Let's do a quick one just together, just quick. I know 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath in the 77008 zip code under 300,000 is very rare, even 350,000. So I'll put an alert that the day that one comes up to send it to me. So the reason why, because I know it's a high demand product with other little variables. I won't go there, but once that hits the market, if it does hit the market, I want to be the first to know so I can put my contract in, get it from the homeowner, get it signed, and then resell it to somebody else. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. And let's go back to the slide, and we'll get there. I know I probably jumped the gun on you guys, but what we're going to be doing is for wholesalers, we're going to be putting a property. Let's say it's 100, worth 100. We're going to put it in there for $50,000 to $70,000 of top value. Then we're going to take it to Mr. Investor and say, hey, give me $10,000 for this contract. You can make 20 on it. I don't want to do anything. I need some paint and carpet. And then you can resell it and make yourself $20,000. I'm just estimating. This is just a good rule of thumb, okay? Don't be like, oh, I don't know about the closing costs, holding costs, and we're going to get there. Just hold on. We're talking about summary. That's what happens, though. Then you may make $2,500, $10,000, $50,000 on the wholesale deal. It just depends. And we made a lot of money in wholesaling, that's for sure. So there's a whole lot more to it, but this is a good summary. We buy cheap, we sell to investor. He does all the work, puts it on the market, makes his big profit. We make a little bit, $2,500, $10,000 in general, $12,000 on a deal. We didn't do anything. We're selling paper. You see, we're selling just the rights. We're selling a piece of paper here that we didn't do anything except our time. We don't have anything. We didn't spend $1 on it besides our time and advertising. So let's go to the next slide here. So how much money can we honestly make in wholesale deals? What I did is I take all the students that I've trained and I've asked them about how much did they make on each sale, and I kind of compiled it over like 10 or 15, plus those other two. So 12 students I had just recently just do extremely well. But from 2015 to 2020, they had $12,383 was their average closing on profit. Okay, now we have some that now doesn't mean that it's going to be every deal you're going to have $12,383. But what it does say is that, well, on average, you should be making minimum $2,800 on each deal. Okay, $2,800, that's a minimum. Median profit is about $89.22, and then average profit's $12,383. So it gives us some things. Now our max profit, besides the big one that I personally had, the max profit for this time period for the students was $26,991. That was the maximum profit. That had the biggest profit that we had was $127,323. That was a big one, and what that was a commercial deal. It was 17,000 square feet of land, and I got it for like $90 a foot, and I know that they sell for $110 a foot in that area of Houston, Montrose area. So I easily sold that for 1.83 million, and then I got it for 1.7 million. So wholesale that deal out and made $130,000 minus a couple of things that happened. But yeah, there's a lot of money to be made in wholesale real estate. These are real numbers. These are real facts. This is what you should be making. This is what you should expect to be making. If you follow the plan, you follow the strategy in wholesaling. We're not talking about wholesale, fix and flip, and then sell. It's just wholesaling. Wholesaling paper, no money, you're not much time and money involved. Just wholesaling the right step property and then selling it. Not fixing and flipping. That's a whole nother class. So we'll talk about, but yeah, that's a different class than fix and flip class. Okay, so you might want to take that if you're interested in fix and flipping. Let's continue. Let's go to the next one. Do you need a real estate license to wholesale properties? And that's a good question. In fact, you do not need a real estate license to wholesale properties. In fact, to be honest with you, I prefer that you don't have a real estate license. I tell you why. The reason why is the real estate commission, they really, if you have a license, they frown upon it a little bit. They're like, I don't like that. It's like you're not benefiting the client, which is the owner of the property. The fiduciary responsibility is to the owner. And they're like, well, wait a minute, you're making a lot of money. And so that's why I don't really like you have a real estate license, especially at the beginning. But it doesn't mean that you, just because you have a license, that you cannot wholesale. That, we have to take some extra precautions and some disclosures that say, hey, black and white, period. I am a real estate agent. I have a real estate license. Here is my real estate license number. Here goes the information about broker services. This is the way things work. In plain black and white. I do not represent you. You just put it on there, things like that. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail throughout the classes. There's a lot to wholesaling real estate that I want you to stay out of trouble. Yeah, you can definitely get in trouble in wholesaling real estate. And I mean, this is business. I mean, in any type of business, when you're talking about homes and hundreds of thousands of dollars, yes, you can get sued. Yes, you can get in trouble. So we're going to talk about staying out of trouble and making a lot of money. Okay, let's continue to the next slide. Is it difficult to wholesale properties? No, it's not. No, it is not. It's not difficult, but you do need to take this training or some training similar. I mean, if you don't take this course, that's fine. If you don't want to continue, take a course from somebody who has a license, preferably, that knows about the law of real estate, because you can get in trouble. Yes, you can get sued. Yes, you can go bankrupt. Yes, you can get robbed by these contractors, not physically, but yes, they can do a lot of things to you. Yes, you can get sued by contractors. You can lose money with contractors. You can lose money with deals. So knowing is just like the old G.I. Joes back in my day when I was a little baby boy, but is that knowing is half the battle. Educating yourself is half the battle. The front work of getting started is half the battle. All the other stuff is going to fall in place because you're going to have the confidence to know what you're doing is right and be able to talk with somebody right in their eye and say, look, this is what the property is worth. Look, he's going to say, like, I'll give you an example. This is what the property, here's an analysis. I wrote an analysis here. Yes, there's some property. They're going to be like, oh, these properties sold for $100,000. $100,000? Yes, sir, it was. But do you see here, look, we have closing costs. We have holding costs. We have to paint the carpet. We have to pay the payment on this, taxes, insurance. Oh, I might have to pay the HOA. Here, after all that, this is how much money I'm going to make. But guess what, Mr. Homeowner? I'm going to give you this money right now, cash money. I got the money in the bank, and maybe you don't. But I'm going to show you who has that money that's going to help you. And we're going to talk about that in another course about where do you get this money? And yeah, where are you making cash offers? I don't have the cash. I can already hear you saying it. No worries. We'll talk about that in the next class. Well, next couple of classes. We have a lot to learn here at HPAgents. I'm so happy to have you here. Let's continue. It's not that hard to sell wholesale properties. I promise you. Don't let it fool you. It's super easy, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna learn everything up front so you can build that confidence to know what you're doing is right. And yeah, because you don't want to second guess. I don't know. I'm scared. I remember I was scared to put offers out. I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna lose. Lose. Like, no, you're not gonna lose. What's the worst can happen? They say no. Move on. Besides moving on, let's move to the next slide. In order to win, you must begin with the mindset. This is something I teach in every class, or every course, should I say, is about that mindset is so, so important. I'm a true believer in belief, in believing. You have to believe in yourself. And I believe in the higher power. Whatever your power is, the universe, spirituality, Christian, Buddhism, whatever that case may be, you have to mix in this belief with the work and technique and strategy. And we talk about that positive energy, staying positive. The universe will start unfolding to you. It will start answering. When you start looking, it's going to start answering. It's going to start giving you an answer. Let's do things right. Let's do things with integrity. Let's focus on making money, staying in, eliminating negativity. That's for sure. And this is just a bonus course, bonus class in this course because I want you to do well. I want you to honestly make money in wholesaling properties. There's no reason why you cannot do it except if you're lazy. If you're lazy, don't take this class. Do not take it because this is not a get-rich scheme. This is not like, it's going to answer all your problems. No, you're going to follow a procedure. You're going to follow a strategy. You're going to follow a technique that I personally used over the last 15 years or 2 decades almost as a real estate broker. And I've been flipping property since I was a kid. So it's like 25 years old. I was flipping River Oaks in one of the richest neighborhoods, a little kid with no money. So you can do it. And I come from nothing. I mean, I don't have a father. We come from Section 8 and welfare and food stamps when I was a kid. We didn't have anything. I used to swim in a gutter for a swimming pool. Got robbed many times walking down the street as a kid. So if I can do it, you can certainly do it. Don't stop. And you're gonna have some people laughing about what you're getting do. Oh, there goes what's his name. Guess what? I promise you this. Look into my eyes. Is that you're gonna be laughing all the way to the bank. I promise you. And anybody want to ask and see my closing statements? Sure. Come and see me because I'll show you my wholesale closing statements. $10, $20, $30, $130,000 in wholesaling properties. And I don't think I never hear anybody say that from wholesale because they can't do it because they're not. A lot of people are full of, so anyways, winning, you have to begin with the mindset. That's where everything starts at, thinking positivity and eliminating negativity. It's so important in success. Let's get going. Do I need money to get started? And I hear a lot of people that, and I don't want you to mix up like these get rich scheme, buy a house with zero down. Yeah, you know what? You do not need money to buy these houses, or should I say correctly, you do not need money to write a contract to buy a house. No, you do not need money to buy a house as long as we buy at the correct value. Because guess what? Let me give you an example. Let's just say, for instance, you are walking down the street, a guy wants to sell his Mercedes for $100. You don't have $100. You ask your friend, hey, do you have $100 on you I can borrow? I want to buy this Mercedes and I'll pay you $120 when I get to the house and sell this car. Of course. It's the same thing with houses. There's going to be people, which we call hard money and medium money lenders. They're like, yeah, that house is worth $100. We're going to buy for 50, 60, or 70, a certain percentage. And guess what? If he forecloses, he did all the hard work. I just got a free property for 70 grand, 30% off. I'll just put it on the market and keep it myself. It's not rocket science, You just got to know where to talk to, how to present this to investors, where to find investors, how to present it to them. And that's what we do in this class. It's exactly like that. Yes, you will need some money for office supplies, cards, shirt, advertising, stuff like that. But if you certainly don't have a dime in your pocket, after taking this course, just quickly co-sell a couple of deals and make $1,000, $2,000, and then take that money and put it in office supplies. Easy as that. You didn't put anything in it. Got a few $100 in the class, and I promise you, you will learn in this class. And if you do not learn, just message me, text me, whatever you got to do. I'll send you your money back, usually in less than an hour. I say 24 hours, but usually in an hour because things are on PayPal, Stripe, things are on, e-thing. Refund takes me 1 minute on my phone. It's not like the old days, You don't only want happy students here. You're not happy? Bye. You can keep that too, but you just can't come back. That's the whole thing. Don't come back to me. You've lost that. I guarantee you will learn something in this course. And if you put it in, you strategize, use the technique that I use, you will make a lot of money, at least $10,000, $20,000 a month, as much, and then you can stop working and, just do things that relax you. Okay, another thing we talked about, this is a bonus course. This is another, I charge $300 for this, working with contractors. This is another class that I'm gonna put with this as a bonus. So this is already, it should be worth, I sell this class for about $1,200. This is another one, makes it $1,500 value, working with contractors, because we gotta know how to find the right contractors. I'm gonna give you some techniques of finding the right ones, and then writing a contract for the contractors. This is the most overlooked step I see in almost every flipper. If you don't learn something, if you don't learn this one thing that I'm teaching, that I'm giving you right now, is to write a contract for contractors. Now write that down. If you don't take this class, at least you learn something right now. Write a contract for contractors. We're gonna list out expectations. It doesn't have to go everything in details. Just some expectations of what we expect, so we can be on the same page. Hey, you didn't do this, so you didn't do this, so it's going to be X amount off. Sounds good? Sounds like you made that right there is going to save you money and hit it. And then, of course, protecting yourself from contractors legally, protecting yourself actually in general legally. We're going to be talking about separating entities to make sure that, just in case somebody gets sued on the job. We're going to talk about insurance. We're going to talk about if somebody gets hurt. Somebody gets hurt on the job. Talking about insurance on your site, so they can't mess with you. And then we're going to be talking about a separate entity in case they do go after you. We can bankrupt that entity and it doesn't affect your personal assets. We don't want anybody coming in and putting a lien on your house. So we're talking about a lot of things like that. And this is another bonus course. It makes it well over $1,500. Working with contractors. Super valuable, like it's a no-brainer. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so that's it for my presentation about wholesaling properties. I guarantee success in this course. There's no way, no how you cannot make money in this course. There's no way. The only way is if you're lazy or you don't follow the strategy. Go through the course. If you want to go through the mentorship or actually work with you hands-on through a deal, that's even better. It's another little add-on where you just cannot lose. It's just no way. But yes, you can make a ton of money. Don't need a license to get started. You don't need a lot of money to get started. You don't need money to get started. What is there to lose? It's a money back guarantee. So it's like you can you can pay, get the course, go through it, and then get your refund. That's how 100% I'm guaranteed success. It's like, but the only thing is you can't come back. Once you're gone, bye. I don't need it. All I want is I have a lot of integrity in myself and this course and in this class. So it's like, hey, no problem. Get your money back. Don't come back. That's my course for now. I hope you like it. I'm going to put this on all the podcast streams. Every single podcast will have this. I'll put it on YouTube. I'll put it on Facebook. Check us out at HPAgents.com and just go up to courses. You'll see courses there on the menu, and it says wholesale properties. And we even have one for fixing and flipping properties. I'm really kind of pushing towards wholesaling first, because that's what gets us the property to start off with, and then fixing and flipping. That's what I would like it to work. So that's my recommendation. So I'm Alan Jimenez, real estate broker, 0549644, Texas Real Estate Commission. And I hope you have a good day. Call me, email me, text me for any questions. And I'll see you guys at the next class. God bless.